So one of the things that this variation of Esper control has elected to do is that we have a number of small hedges that allow us to be much better against the Simic and specifically Green Cavalier decks than a lot of other things. So we've got Remorse, Eat to Extinction, Kaya Orzhov Usurper, Despark, Conqueror's Death. Lots of ways to make sure they can't recover keycards back from their discard pile. Now, one concession this deck is making, which may or may not be a good choice today, there's been a lot of red aggro online recently, and this main deck's a little bit slanted towards beating mid-range and control more so than beating aggro, but we do have Disfigure, 3 Decree, and 2 Aether Gust post-board, so I don't think we're just a total dog in a total set of 3. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this one, hopefully find some breeding pools and have some good games. No, Birth seems weird. Birth requires building the mana base in a specific way. It's difficult to get 3+ planes into a 3-color mana base in this format. Birth, again, like I just talked about what we want to be good against, Birth isn't very good against the mid-range decks in this format. Swimmer, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Bottom that, looking for some lands and some sweepers against the turn 1 Gutter Bones. Huh? Nice of her. I think I'm just taking Ayara because it uses their mana next turn. Hey, sounds good, Moonlight. I'll get that updated after we're done today. As a heads up for folks, I have been doing a lot of weekend streams. Oh, wait, they can rankle this turn, right? If they sack their things. As a heads up, I will be offline all weekend this weekend. I've been doing a lot of midday stuff. Huh? I just killed this? I think I just killed the priest here. Just save some life. 0 tolerance stance on gambling. Yeah, I wonder, they have a 0 tolerance stance on gambling. Does that mean MPL players aren't allowed to play Magic the Gathering online? That has to be what that means, right? I can only assume. I think I've been the Conqueror's Death here. And what's it called too? Not only that, but I think I just pass here with Thassa's intervention up. And if they don't play into Thassa's intervention, I just go ahead and draw 2 with it. Sure. Those are pretty good actually, right? Oh, that's great. Okay, so I get to go take your Rankle, Oath of Kaya, your Order of the Midnight. Another funny thing in the MPL contracts are it explicitly talks about players not using alcohol because it's not family friendly, but it also mentions that Wizards reserves the right to have alcohol sponsors and players can't have their own personal alcohol sponsors. Which is very one of those pick a lane type things. Like, are we okay having alcohol associated with Magic's brand or like not? Like, all right, the scheme is slowly getting taken over here. All right, here's the real question, chat. This person is rank 1240, and the season ends in like 15 minutes. So if there's a chance we're gonna win this match, should we concede? I feel like the answer is if there's a chance we win this match, we should concede. I think I want to cut this and leave in my spot removal at the top end. Maybe this is not an Ashiok matchup. Which, to be fair, if we were in the MPL, conceding would get us a fine. Actually, I don't know if conceding gets you a fine or not. It may or may not. I don't know if it listed firearms. That's a good question. I'd explicitly called out tobacco and vaping, though. No, we're playing on the ladder because this season doesn't matter for me, Niv. Why does the season not matter? Because the thing this month qualifies you for, you also are qualified for if you finish in the top 1200 in October, November, or December of last year. So I am already qualified for the thing that this month would qualify me for. We cleverly left my Disfigure on top of the deck here. Yeah, whereas, like, this opponent's playing an aggro deck. So, like, there's a good chance that, like, they're trying to squeak in here with one more win. Alright, let's play a different match. Hey, Robinson, thanks for the sub-gifty. I appreciate that. Welcome. A company was leaving our WeWork building and wanted to downsize, so now I personally own a standing desk. Nice. I think standard is actually healthy. It may not be all elks, but healthy feels the way off. I like this current standard format a lot. I think every format of Magic has some things that I would prefer were slightly changed in it, but I think overall Theros was an incredible set that was very good for Standard in general. I think while like Nissa and 3-mana Teferi and like Ember Cleave are all cards that I could like kinda take or leave, would probably be happier if they didn't exist. Like, I think overall this format is more than reasonable. I want to say thank you for all the Magic info. You're one of the best in the business. Thanks to the biddies, last streamer. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday wherever you're at. War was an amazing set for blue-white control. I can't change your mind because that's just true, Justin. I think I actually take a champion here because together those champions deal 4, and like they play this next turn, I just get to Oathakaya it. Perfect. It's a land that doesn't hurt me to cast this. And then next turn I get to go land, Time Raveler, bounce this. Oh, I was like, what is that emote from, Philly? And then you put mouse ears on the ghost. That works so well. That mouse emote works so well. I thought it was someone's actual emote. I was like, oh, that's cute. That's fantastic. What are the other ones? Modify a single emote. Draw a card, flashback, Lightning Helix. It's a good Planeswalker down tick, huh? Perfectly reasonable. I'm gonna hold on to this Veto to like counter a Bone Crusher Stomp or something, I think. We're at 15 and have Oathakaya in our hand and our opponent has no board. Feels like we're pretty close to garbage time. Teferi picking back up both the Nissa is real good. Hey opponent, yeah, I was just saying my health total is going in the wrong direction, opponent. You might wanna rethink your position here. And again, I feel like this type of matchup kind of shows why traditional aggro is kind of middling. Like, our deck's not even really trying to beat the opponent's deck, and like, if they don't find cleave, they have a real hard time against us. Alright, Eat and Ashiok are pretty slow. I think this is not an Agonizing Remorse matchup. I'll trim the last Thassa's intervention. Like I said earlier, pretty sure I leave Despark in this matchup just because the cards it targets are really important to get rid of. Maybe Conquer's Death isn't very good here. Oh, Heliod's intervention is absurd, huh? Right? Gain twice X and destroy things. Maybe I want at least one Ashiok left over just for a win condition. I do like having ways to end the game. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to leave these in just for win condition's sake. Maybe Narset's not very good. Let's cut Narset and leave an Ashiok. I mean, Trawler's great. I just, like, want more than 2 threats, huh? What are my thoughts on color hosing sideboarding cards existing? I think Color hosing sideboarding cards are good because they give you good metrics on when a format's healthy. Like, for example, when this card is main deckable, the format's not healthy. I also think color hosing sideboard cards like these are good designs. I think the random protection cards kind of suck and shouldn't exist, but I think there's a lot of room for good color hosing designs. Gonna bottom that, just like looking for Othakaias here, basically. They did light up the stage into Torbran, so it's not gonna get to do much this turn, which is great. Next turn we'll go tapped land plus exile Scorchbitter again, most likely. They don't have a third land. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, I'm still gonna decree this turn because I don't really want a shock to play Oath. Veto. I'm gonna bottom that. I think we're just looking for mana. Yeah, I think the protection hosers suck. I think protection as a mechanic is kind of miserable. Like, just not a big fan of those in general. Like Cerulean Drake and the protection from White One, like, I think those types of Magic's a better game without those types of effects in it. They miss a land drop again here. I think I shock and just do this.
Come. The shadows awaken.
What is a fun deck that I would recommend? The Jeskai Bio Company deck is a total hoot. If you haven't seen that one played before. We played that earlier today. It was easily the deck of the day. Very, very fun and powerful.
I'm known for my excellent type. There goes nothing.
It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Ashiok. Ashiok Ultimate, -7. We get to cast 3 of their face-up cards in exile. So we're going to get to alt Ashiok and, like, cast their Bone Crusher and stuff next turn. Wait, are they stomping my Teferi? Do they not know what this ultimate does? They must not know what the ultimate does, huh? Because, like, I get to cast their 2 adventure creatures here. We'll attack with this first and see what we exile. A 3rd Bone Crusher Giant. I'd probably rather have Torbran, right? Wait. How do I know which Bone Crushers are on adventure and which one's just exiled there? Maybe the mouse over told me. Alright, remember when I said the way this deck was built, we didn't really respect the red deck? And then we just crushed the red deck mercilessly anyways? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Sure. Yeah, we wanted to explicitly cast the ones that were on adventure, so that way they couldn't cast them again later. I don't see the Jeskai deck you're talking about on the stream decker. Jeskai Bio combo, and lots of other fantastic standard decks you can find on my website, mtgesports.net or jeffhoagland.com. Click the standard decks button at the top. You'll find a carefully curated hand selection list of standard decks that are sure to make you play some sweet games of Magic. Probably Teamerek. Means these Teferi should be good. I think I bought him here because it's just really important to hit land drops. As good as Narset is. Okay. Sweet. Rewarded. I'm plussing this because if they're Reclamation and they play Reclamation this turn, I'd like to bounce it. It's marginally worse against Brazen Borrower for sure, though. Second verse, same as the first. Yep, in for land number 6. Wonder if we'll see him just play Borrower here.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
Do I hold up Intervention? I think I'm just gonna play Narset. They're at enough lands at this point that they can like have an expansion explosion for an okay number of cards. So I think I'd rather just avoid that. They don't want to bounce any of my planeswalkers because bouncing them just resets them.
Let's try this.
Just gonna go ahead and pass here, I think. No, I'd have to discard. Alright, I'll do that. They do not draw cards at the explosion or Narset because the explosion doesn't kill Narset, state-based actions kill Narset. So they have to take Narset out of play with something other than the actual expansion explosion. This, not technically drawing cards, being good for them here. Almost dig through time. That's a good draw.
Don't worry, I got this.
We're the bad man chant. We're the bad man. Oh my fucking god! Oh, I did it again! Holy shit! Holy shit! This fucking interface, man. It's just, it's unreal. It's unreal. Just like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Just what an unreal garbage interface. Yeah, I was like, oh, so they just like found more cards that we already dealt with. No, it doesn't always go to whichever one has more cards. It's actually random. We're still super far ahead. We're just way less ahead than we should be. For people that haven't seen it, the interface randomly chooses whether or not it shows you their hand or their graveyard. Sometimes it shows you their hand first, sometimes it shows you their graveyard first. It does not do the one with more cards in it. That is not how it works. There are plenty of examples of it showing you the one with fewer cards if you actually go back and look. The issue isn't even that it shows the graveyard first, it's that it sometimes shows the graveyard first. Correct, yes. It's not even always graveyard. It's the fact that it does different things. I think I'm just jamming Dream Trawler.
That's more like it.
Yeah, Trawler can at least bin Kaya. And, like, we'll kill them relatively quickly. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. We won because we were super far ahead. Teamer Reclamation continues to look like an embarrassing pile of cards every time we play against it. Just still incredibly frustrating to just, like, have to sit there and, like, really go really slowly. And, like, obviously, if I play slower, I get caught by that less of the time, but it's just not something that I should have to worry about. It's embarrassing and unnecessary for Wizards software. Yeah, Kaya's probably not very good here. What do I want instead of her, though? Like, is Kaya fine? I guess Disfigure kills Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I don't know. Croakies is, like, a really good Magic player, and he's been, like, beating up a bunch of people with it. I think he's convinced people that it's really good. You gotta remember that, like, whenever you see, like, someone who plays Magic constantly playing a deck, you should probably shave a few percentage points off whatever it's winning. Is the interface from Agonizing Remorse a good enough reason to drop black from the deck? That's a good consideration. I like that. Identified a problem, created a potential solution. Except when I win, that it's the real deal. No, that's definitely true. We prop up the win rates of unplayable decks with my my ability to play good Magic lots of times. Basically what we do full time here. That's a great draw. I like Esper better, Party Bus CEO. Although my current guilty pleasure decks are Jeskai. I like Trawler in both Jeskai Bio combo and Jeskai Alliance. I mean, to be fair, dude, like, something we've often talked about here is one of the reasons why Magic is such a great game is because you can spend so much time offline thinking about it. This is a little bit aggressive, but I'm hoping me only leaving 2 up here maybe baits them into jamming Reclamation, and then I can despark it. Well, they're also missing a land drop. Well, that's just like the best case scenario. Like, we did that to them and then they missed a land drop. The bio combo deck has felt incredibly competitive. I've liked it a lot. Does chat have to save up those 500 eventually? I mean, you won't stop being honest. Thanks for the biddies, Top Toe. I appreciate it. All right, is it my turn to get my draw 2 countered? If they counter this, I can untap and slam a Trawler, which sounds pretty good. Okay, getting Spell Pierce is less exciting. That's a great draw. We're gonna make sure we're looking at their hand. We're gonna make sure we're looking at their hand. We're gonna make sure we're looking at their hand. We're gonna make sure we're looking at their hand. If they counterspell this, I'm just gonna jam Narset. Their graveyard is Dispute and Intervention. Their graveyard is Dispute and Intervention. Oh. That's not okay. I like my hand. So again, they have to pay double X here, so this is counter unless they pay 4. That's not true, Bob. You get 1 entire extra booster pack for reaching Mythic. Thank you very much. The fact that their sweeper doesn't kill Dream Trawler is, like, real embarrassing. I guess their sweeper does kill my little planeswalkers is relevant. But, like, Dream Trawler's the real prize. Bottoms up. You love to see it. Free smackies. We live to serve, okay? I'm gonna be honest, Dirty Digits. I couldn't tell you what the standard... I couldn't tell you a single card in the standard tempo deck in the queue. There's like 50 decks in the queue right now, half of which are standard legal. Just trying to get by. I would love an Narset. Sure. Nah, I don't think so, Captain. I like drawing cards. Big fan of drawing cards. Alright, so the no attack here means they have another borrower, right? That's what this implies? Oh, Teamer Reclamation. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, right. Do we get some... Oh, what are the foils? What are the foils? I want foils. I forget what the foils were. Uh-oh. Oh, is that it? That's sad. All right. Less excited. Where's my Gray Merchant foil, Watsy? Where's my Gray Merchant foil? I mean, Stone Coil's playable in Pioneer, so someday Pioneer will be here. And I'll get to play it there. Yay, 100 gems! You're playing for the long con, exactly. Every time you ask, they push it to the bottom of the list. Lol. Sure. You got a scry. Let's draw White Sorcerer 2. Yeah, each season has the same one rare, one uncommon cosmetic for reaching gold and platinum, respectively. Swish. Alright, gonna need that second White Source ASAP against Pelt Collector. The fancy full art lands from this set are not purchasable in client yet. We're so good at this game, chat. If you want to know how to reach Mythic in record time, just watch this stream. It's very enlightening. Yes, that emote was both designed and added during today's stream. Oh, if I took the Pelt Collector, they couldn't attack with a Lovestruck Beast, right? That's fine, though. We go to 7. If they don't draw Questing Beast right away, we're in an okay spot. They need to draw a card off my Shatter here. To be fair, Rank Tangy, I'm told from people from other games and things like the NFL that clauses like that where you can't say any mean things are apparently the norm in a lot of other places. Unfortunately, I think we've died. Apparently Wizards making that a rule is them being in line with what's expected in other places. Which, you have one of your non-sports jobs, sure. It is worth reflecting, though, that people comparing it to their job, that MPL and Rivals players are not technically Wizards employees. Something contract, something 1099, something you get no benefits from this job. Something feel the burn so we can have national health care in the United States. Alright, so cheaper Planeswalkers get cut here. Veto's not very good. I think the discard spells are fine in this matchup. Is Kaya good enough? Kaya exiles Innkeeper and Pelt Collector. She's probably fine. I think I want these Banishing Lights. Maybe I just cut the counter spells. That's probably the line. 2 of these is probably slow. Let's try this. Yeah, we did see Innkeeper. Their follow-up after I swept their board was involved in Innkeeper. Put these towards Bant, Enchantment, Aggro, and Historic. Sounds good, Wargy. Thanks for the biddies. Yeah, here's hoping, Scottish. I'm pretty sure Bernie's plan includes dental vision and hearing, from my understanding. Bernie has the most robust and complete of the Medicare for All plans. If you are someone who plans on living, I would encourage you to vote for Bernie Sanders. If you're someone that has good private healthcare and you think nationalized healthcare doesn't sound like a good idea, I would encourage you to ask your employer how much they pay for your good private healthcare, and then consider if they weren't doing that, they could just pay you that money. And that amount of money is almost certainly less than the amount you will get taxed as a middle-class person for paying for Medicare for All. As a comparison, my wife works for a large company, and we have what's considered a very good insurance plan. Her job pays $20,000 a year between her employer and our contribution for her healthcare plan. $20,000 per year. They don't have any red mana. I think I just take the Questing Beast. I just take the Questing Beast. Thanks for the brand new Prime support, Prezavel. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Has Drev addressed the centrist fear that Bernie would struggle in the general when the GOP dredges up his history of consorting / sympathizing with communists? I don't know. I'm gonna need a source on that. I also think whatever happens, whoever wins is gonna get dragged through mud, because that's what the general's gonna be like. I think if you think whoever the nomination isn't about to get dragged through the mud is gonna be another thing coming. Any article that talks about electability is anybody who still talks about electability in 2020 is an idiot who apparently doesn't look at history. Donald Trump was considered wildly unelectable. Wildly unelectable. And look at where we are today. Think I just disfigure this? That unfortunately costs 2, so I can't Conqueror's Death or Despark it. You don't imagine you'll get a raise if your employer suddenly has to stop paying for your healthcare. Yeah, but here's the thing. If your employer suddenly has to stop paying for your healthcare, your flexibility to change jobs suddenly goes through the roof. When quitting your job doesn't mean you could lose your house and go bankrupt if you suddenly got sick, so long as you have some savings up, it gives, nationalized healthcare gives an incredible amount of power to the actual workers. It means workers don't have to worry about losing actual everything in the event that they got sick. And I agree, you're right that most of them won't give you just the difference, but you have a lot more bargaining power when you suddenly don't have to worry about losing your family getting sick and you getting sick, stuff like that happening. It's a whole different ballgame at that point. All right, so I'm eating the Love-Struck Beast, and then I'm gonna wait and see Teferi Time Raveler. Yeah, that can stay there. I'm gonna Despark the Ceratops, and then next turn I can go Teferi, pick up Oath the Innkeeper. Hello, youngest son. Unfortunately, Elspeth Conquers Death there, not getting anything useful out of her bin.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint. Trust me, I have a plan.
Well, the Saga's going away, so I can't bring back the Saga. That's not a legal play. I think I have to bottom that. So, do I kill the higher power creature or do I kill the Innkeeper? I think I'm gonna gamble and kill the higher power creature. What's up, dude? Want the sandwiches? Enjoy.
You ate a lot of them.
I have eaten a lot of them, you're right. Why didn't I bin the Teferi with the eat? Because of what you just saw. The Teferi drew a card and a removal spell. Oh! Okay, so like this is where the devil's in the details. So I should have binned the Teferi because Elspeth was in play. So thank you. Have a timeout. Have a timeout. Have a timeout. Talking and doing two things at once. Declan just walked in the door. Make mistakes all the time. Make sure you talk about the whys. If you think a play I made is wrong, don't just say, hey, Jeff, why didn't you make the good play? Say, hey, Jeff, this other play is better and this is why. And explain. Teach. Engage in a conversation. Why didn't you just win the game? Asking the real questions. Good Lord. Is this real life? Is this real life? God bless this castle, huh? We'd have lost this game 800 years ago if we didn't have this castle. Oh, I should start holding a land because there's Dream Trawlers in my deck. I should hold a land. They're gonna like have a removal spell for this trawler and I'm gonna feel real dumb. I was mostly playing them out because I was kind of tilted that we kept drawing them, but... Alright, sweet. Didn't get punished. God bless. I'm glad this is a no justice stream. I'm glad this is a no justice stream. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Let's run it back. It's a really good 10 killer, Beansy. It's a really, really good half idle game. I think I play this and fetch planes on one. I don't know what Nylia's intervention does. Alright, we're gonna take the Rimrock Knight and hope they miss land drop. Alright, I believe we have died. I believe the game has ended and we are dead. Oh, right. Yeah, they just have Bone Crusher, right? We just had to know information. Yeah, I think we needed them to miss there. Is the end of every month an FBC deadline? How do those work? Or is this a deadline just because it's the last month before Iowa caucuses start? Is that why it's still? I thought they were quarterly deadlines, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super informed on the details. Yeah, I know it's for reporting purpose. I'm saying how often do they report, though? Hey, Pro, thanks for being here. Happy Friday. Oh, this hand really needs to draw some lands. We got a temple, though. The second Shatter drawn here is not good if they're playing some kind of non-creature deck. All right, Shatter's much better against Orzhov Enforcer. Some kind of Doom Foretold deck, maybe? That's what Treacherous Blessing likely indicates, huh? Oh, feels magic, man. Take their Elspeth since it exiles. Do I want to concede here before I show them my hand? I guess they can kind of guess what we're doing, but like, I kind of feel like I want to concede. Like, Shatter seems real bad here. I try and conceal some information here. I feel like, based on this lag, I forgot to restart the client during our last downtime. Feels like that's probably the case. All right, so Despark seems fine. This seems good. Shatter seems real bad. I don't know that Banishing Light seems good. I guess it kills. I guess it takes out their Planeswalkers. It's like kind of medium against Doom Foretold, though, but I don't really have any other fantastic cards here. Yeah, I agree. It is kind of strange that the rank resets in the middle of the day. We should be able to get through this match. It's the end of the day somewhere. That's fair. It's not the end of the day PST, though, which is what all their time zones are in. Holy gosh, 3 lands, chat. None of them, only 1 blue source, but, you know, beggars won't be choosers. Yeah, the lack of customizable game boards, I feel like, is one of the big cosmetics Wizards has missed out on so far. Hex Shards of Fate was an old card game we used to play on stream, and they did customizable game boards to a really good effect. They were well done. Mythgard added them in their latest patch. Sweet. That's good. They're pretty on the ball. The technology aspect on Mythgard has just been A++. All their tech decisions are phenomenal. So, Tater Magic, I'm pretty confident at this point, like, the way things have gone, especially with the whole impeachment trial, like, people who are, like, trying to strategically vote based on what they think other people think, what they think other people will do, I think they're just psyching themselves out and trying to justify making a bad choice to themselves. Don't think you need to vote for a status quo Joe like Joe Biden. Joe, nothing will fundamentally change when he's in office, Biden. Vote for the people who you think will do a good job and serve your interests the best, regardless of if you think there's a bunch of boomers in some swing state that won't vote for them or not. Don't let some boomer that you're never gonna meet discourage you from voting for someone that could bring about good change for you. If people under 35 get registered and get out and vote, the way Bernie could win both the primary and the general is if people under 35 actually show up. If people under 35 vote at the same rates people above 35 voted, the people who are under 35 will get what they want, because there's more of us at this point. We're the block that votes the least. That needs to change. What's gonna really hurt here is if they have discard spell into threat. Just a threat's fine. So this turn I get to go shock in this, play Ashiok, hold stroke. And then next turn I get to shock in a land, play Trawler, hold stroke. How hard is it to register to vote in the United States? It depends on where you live. In states that are controlled by Republicans, it can often be waiting periods to vote or hoops to jump through. A lot of Republican states also regularly purge their voter rolls. So you have to double check to make sure you're still registered to vote if you're in a state like that. Wisconsin very recently just purged like 6 digits worth of voters. Did we hit a cav? That's sweet. Next turn, depending on what these exile, we might alt Ashiok if we have that option. PA in 2016 purged some of your friends after the deadline to register to vote. That's America. Do do. For the record, just because I feel like there's going to be some angry GOP supporter in my comments of this video, I did not say all Republican states purge voters. I just said the states that do purge voters are basically always Republican states. So those two things can be both true. Not all rectangles are squares, but all squares are rectangles. Thank you for the 18 months, Serp. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Gosh, Doom Foretold's pretty embarrassing against my Omen, huh? Think I just take Lily on a Dreadhorde General? And then, I think I just play Kaya here too. Just like get her ticking up. I could shock this in and hold up Scry. Aren't they dead? To Kaya up to... No, she doesn't ult for 2 more turns, chat. Yeah, no, that's true. I don't really want to give them a target for Conqueror's Death. They have 2 Conqueror's Death. Although if they play Conqueror's Death, they just die, so maybe that's fine. I don't know. Unless they peel Kaya's. It might be right to play this out, because their out here is peeling Kaya's Wrath. So, like, if I can stop them from peeling Kaya's Wrath. Because, like, they're dead, they're done on board with the Trawler. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to play the Kaya there, because Kaya is a threat that doesn't die to Kaya's Wrath. Hey, thanks for the 12 months, Zanos. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. I think I'm happy with how he boarded. I'm going to go ahead and run it back here. Trawler is the real deal, chat. The real deal. Yeah, sounds fine. Oh, it's still in the courts. That's good. So, like, what happens? What's the voter registration laws in Wisconsin? Is it possible that purge happens after the registration deadline? What's up, dude? You want to say hi? Or are you just coming for more sandwiches? You're just coming for more sandwiches? He doesn't actually love me, chat. He just wants the sandwiches out of my freezer. Yeah, Red Ranger, the important thing to remember is that things that people like or hate tend to go in both directions. So while there's a lot of people that shuffle here profess very loudly don't care for me, there's also a similar number of people who really enjoy me and my stuff. That's my youngest, that's Declan. He's he's 4.5, almost 5 in May. Their hand is all really good here. I don't really know what I want to take. Is it just Davriel? I think it's Davriel. I think Davriel gets to stay. These are both kind of scary though. I think I take Doom Foretold. I think it's just Doom Foretold. It's a tough call. All three of their cards there kind of like 2 or 3 for 1 us. Yeah, Blessing sees the most cards for them. Yeah, I guess maybe that's the reason.
No one has seen my face, and let's tidy up in there.
Do I want to Banishing Light this? I think the answer is yes. I guess if they kill Banishing Light, it gives them an extra discard though, which is not appealing. Like if they rip another Doom Foretold here, I'm kind of in a lot of trouble. The FCC used real names and social security numbers to put fake comments saying citizens wanted to get rid of. That can't be real. I need a source on that one. I want to have optimism and say that that one can't possibly be real yet. Please. that was real. It was on John Oliver. That's a friendly reminder that you should look up whether or not your representative voted against net neutrality, and you should make sure to vote them out in 2020 if it's an option. All right, so because they could have a removal spell here, I'm gonna use Ashiok's down tick and just exile a card from their hand here. So this will kill their token and then exile a card from their hand, so we'll get kind of a 2-for-1 here if they have a Murderous Rider. Thanks for the tip, Dr. Mr. Punny. I appreciate it. Yep, where's my dashboard? Love the content, put the Sword Salt I control. Sounds great. Oh. I think we're dead. Feeling kind of dead.
No more than I am proud of my comrades.
Yeah, it's not gonna pull us through. All right, let's try one more with this. Viewer count popping up after the last couple after the PT finished up for the day. If we bump up to 1,800 or so, I might add another deck after Blue-Black Flicker. I don't have a hard cut today. I don't have to get Jake off the bus, so maybe we'll fit Sultai control it at the end. The deck was good last time we played it. Just like we drew it up. Interesting. I think it's another Doomforge old deck. Very likely. I'm gonna take their Bell Haunt. Good news is the rest of their hand's quite bad against us, so we got that going for us. Yeah, yikes. You know, we're on the rank floor. I'm gonna concede. I don't want to play against another Doomforge old deck. It's dry. We already had it happen once. You can't possibly eat a third sandwich. You're gonna eat a third sandwich?
Yeah.
He thinks he's really funny, chat. He thinks he's really funny.
Bye.
As long as you're eating them and not hiding them somewhere. I'm gonna ask your mother, okay?
Why are we super wet in there?
Because it's unplugged. It was making noise. The deck lid is all consuming, yep.
Why it's super wet though?
I think I need to get another box of Uncrustables, chat. We're running low on Uncrustables. Alright, sweet. God bless you, Basic Mountain. God bless you, Basic Mountain. Probably not a great die roll for us to lose. What you see depicted in the Eat to Extinction art is actually Declan, not Croxa. That's fair. I'd believe that. These things are each attacking for 2 here. So we're going to 12. Well, this game's over. I'm gonna take a little info on the way out the door. Yep, just typical red. It's been a rough set today for Esper. Hopefully blue black and Sultai go a little bit better. To drag our curve down here a whole bunch. Bring in a bunch of cheap removal. I'm not a fan of Narset in this matchup. Leaving the counter spells. I think I like that. This is close. Both Veto and Legion's End are decent cheap spells. This locks up my second white source in case we need to cast a Shatter later if we draw it, but I think I'm going to bottom that for now. We have a lot of lands in our deck, and like Teferi's a cantrip. Huh? I think I just Gust to use my mana here. Like, if I don't Gust here, I'm like not using my mana next turn. And like now I got to use 2 mana into 3 mana, which is relatively appealing. It could have been right to just like Teferi downtick there, draw a card, and then next turn I could Teferi uptick Legion's End this at instant speed. By waiting on the Teferi though, if they play a 3-drop here, I can Teferi bounce their 3-drop, which is nice next turn. Yeah, this works out well. This card's so good with Embercleave. Just gets real big since its power is equal to their devotion to red. So Embercleave gives it +3/+3 basically. And it slams on into play. Let's go in red-black sack. Oh! Huh. Yeah, that sounds great, actually. That sounds like really good. Should put that on my list of things to try. Oh, with Cat Oven. Oh, that's super gross with Cat Oven. So kind of peak control deck problems here. My opponent's played a 3-mana creature, and I have exile 2 or less, exile 4 or more. It's just kind of like, stuck in the middle with you. Do 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 do.
But you can't hit me again.
Well, I mean, they played a card I could exile at least, so thanks for the freebie. You had exile 1 or less on board. Christy has confirmed that Declan is in fact actually eating the sandwiches. And apparently he ate 3 protein balls and a little bag of Oreo cookies before raiding my sandwiches. Boy's hungry. Alright, I'm in for both of those. He's about to pop up. There are 3 cards total in their ban. These require 3 other cards to escape, so those aren't coming back quite yet. Maybe it's wrong to shock to hold up Veto here. Okay, I can Legion's End that at least. Although I probably would rather end the Berserker, huh? Almost assuredly. Get that boy another sandwich. Thanks, DMS. Gosh, I kind of feel like we're dead here. Like, they have 3 threats I kind of need to counter in their hand. And then, like, they have Phoenix in their bin with 4 cards now. So, like, they have to escape a Phoenix. They're, like, playing must-answer threats. every turn for like the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. And like my set of answers here is kind of minimal. I guess I have Intervention for the first Phoenix and then Veto for the Chandra. Yeah, maybe that's right. Okay, yeah, I think I agree with you. Yeah, let's draw 2. If I get 1 card out of this, it's not good enough, but like I might get 2 or more. We'll shoot. That's phenomenal. Worth noting here, if I would have taken the untapped land, I could have played Teferi, bounced this, and then still held up Veto this turn. But I definitely need to hold up Veto this turn because I don't want them to jam Chandra while I'm tapped out. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit on stream. I don't really have time these days to like, the queue's been so full that I haven't really been putting anything in myself. I think if I had time to brew things, that would be on the list of things I would want to work on. And we're done. GG. Should there be a third Trawler in this deck? There should probably be a third Trawler in this deck.
Sorry I'm late. No, I am not making this up as I go.
I guess I'm oathing this. I guess. They get 2 1/1s, so it's 4 power though. I guess with the Trawler gaining life, we might be okay here. They're currently attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I at least get to Despark Torbrand. Yeah, I guess we're only losing the race by 2. We're only taking 2 a turn, right? If Trawler manages to find us some action here, we'll be okay. I probably should have made them declare attackers before they did that, but it's probably whatever. The control matchup, Snuggle Bear. You board in Teferi and Monastery Mentor in the control matchup. I have 9 mana here. I think I'm going to scry before I draw. Because I still have like 5 mana if I need it. Yeah, I think that's good enough. That's great. Okay, so that means I'm going to wait and just hold up mana here rather than play the Decree, so I can counter unless they pay 4 with Intervention. Intervention is so good. This is just one of the best cards for this style of archetype printed in recent memory. So this happens. We take 7. Just backing it in. Okay. Guess they're just not racing. Yeah. Alright. Think I'm happy with how he boarded. Yeah, we should. I don't know if I want all 3 Trawlers main, but 3 in the 75 is definitely something that should happen. Yeah, we're just looking for land drops at this point, right? That's actually a good question. Does anybody know offhand how many trawlers are in the blue-white control decks at the PT this weekend? Have to imagine there's a lot of them. I think I hold on to that because if their follow-up post Shatter is a 4-drop, that's really good for us. Bloomberg might make the stage. Something I didn't realize about Bloomberg was apparently he's just not taking donations. He's only self-funded, which I didn't realize. Still would prefer billionaires weren't trying to get themselves elected, but at least he's got that going for him. Jerpanda, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think we're probably dead here. Having to shock to 4. We just haven't cast a spell and we're like at 6. Annex is so good. Annex is so good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like we ran good the first couple times we played this, or if we ran extra poor today. I do know that I don't really expect the Doom Foretold matchups to be good. I think some of the struggle we had could be improved by having more closing power at the top end, so I do think I want a third Dream Trawler in here at a minimum. Maybe get rid of one of these things. I have a third Kaya in the board. No, I don't. Maybe I could trim one of those. Extra trawler seems good. Yeah, maybe you could want like, so like when we built this, I definitely think maybe maybe it's a restructure type thing too. Like when we built this deck initially, we were asking ourselves the question, how do we beat control? Or how do we beat ramp with the control deck? And this build did a good job of doing that. But I'm honestly just, I would be surprised if this archetype's constructible in a way where we both don't eat it to mono red and have a good matchup still against Simic. Like, I feel like something's got to give there. As for people talking about 2-mana removal, while our main deck is quite sparse on it, I've got Disfigure, Decree, Aether Gust, and Legion's End all in the sideboard. So, like, we've got 7 pieces of 1 and 2 mana removal post board. Maybe the argument could be, especially on the draw, I need to mulligan for it more. I mean, I have 3 Decree, and this is basically an answer for that card. Like, it takes it off the table. I think those are relevant and reasonable. I think if you really wanted to hedge aggro, you could restructure this deck in a different way. I think I might just mostly leave it how it is, though, and say, if you want to beat aggro, just build the deck differently. Like, if you want to beat mono red, these colors definitely have the tools in this format to beat mono red, but this deck, as constructed, isn't looking to do that. And, like, we actually beat one of the 3 mono red decks we played against still. Sometimes that's just going to happen, so... All right, what are we doing next? We are going to wrap up today here potentially with some black-blue flicker. So we've got some Thassas here along with some Half-Truths and some Gray Merchants and some Agents of Treachery. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get all my stuff set up to flip over to this one. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some blue-black flicker, folks. Thanks for hanging out.